welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. President Buhari signs 10.6 trillion naira 2020 appropriation bill into law, paving way for the return of Nigeria's budget cycle to run from January to December. House of Representatives rejects bill seeking to amend the constitution for a single term of 6 years for president, governors and members of the National and State Houses of Assembly. Court summons the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, as well as the Director General of the DSS, over the continued detention of Mr. Omoyele Sowore. And Pakistan's former military leader, General Pervez Musharraf, sentenced to death following a special court hearing in Islamabad. For more information on our top stories and others, do visit our website, channelstv.com. youtube.com/channelsweb has videos of all our shows. The House of Representatives has rejected a bill that seeks to amend the Constitution for a single term of 6 years for the President and Governors and a 6-year term for members of the National and State Houses of Assembly. According to the sponsor of the bill, Mr. John Dige, re-election for the President and Governors costs 3 times more than the first election and is characterized by violence. Our correspondent Terry Kumi reports.
The Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives presides over Tuesday's plenary session. One of the bills listed for second reading seeks a single term of 6 years for the President and Governors and a 6-year term for National and State Assemblies.
Re-elections of governors and presidents allegedly gulp 3-4 times more than the first elections. Now, allegedly, these monies come from the coffers of the states, of the government, for the legislature, because of constituencies where there is only one tenure. Let us make it 6 tenures, but it should still be multiple as it is.
The motion is supported by just one lawmaker and rejected by others, with some arguing that the president or governor will be unable to make meaningful achievements if restricted to just a 6-year single term.
The monies that are being spent belongs to this country. We can save that money. They're actually getting 4+2 without a second election.
If you find a leadership that is unpopular, and we have to wait for 6 years to change that particular administration, that will be too difficult and that will be too dangerous for us.
It's because of the immunity.
The minority leader thinks the problem of lack of accountability could be tied to immunity.
We should remove the immunity clause. We should remove the immunity clause for both governors and presidency. Let the immunity go off so that there will be accountability, thorough accountability.
An attempt by the sponsor to withdraw the bill hits a brick wall.
He has lost the opportunity because of the word right of reply. At this stage, I cannot allow the opportunity because we are going beyond that. The question now is that those in favor of the bill be ready the second time, say aye. Those against say nay. Then they have it.
By rejecting the bill through voting and refusing the sponsor the chance to withdraw it, he can no longer represent the bill before the House. Terry Ikumi, Channels Television News.
We'll stay in Abuja, but I'll hand over to my colleague Linda Akigbe. Hi, Linda.
Hello, Ijoma. Now, staying with the National Assembly, the Senate is summoning the Minister of Interior, Mr. Rauf Aregbesola, to explain details of the recent visa on arrival policy introduced by President Muhammadu Buhari. The Senate has also mandated its Committee on Foreign Affairs to urgently liaise with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to investigate the status of Nigerian businesses in Ghana. Lawmakers in the upper chamber resume for the first plenary of the week.
Point of order, Senator.
One of the matters before the Senate is a motion seeking the domestication of the African Free Trade Agreement by an act of the National Assembly prior to the implementation of the proposed policy for visa on arrival for citizens of African countries. It's a motion lawmakers support.
the National Assembly ought to enact legislation for the purpose of giving effect to all treaties after their ratification by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria or other members of the executive arm of government of Nigeria.
We really want to support distinguished Senator Adetumbi in this particular motion that we domesticate it so that the do's and don'ts and cross the I's and dot the I's and cross the T's in how you can come into Nigeria.
The upper chamber thereafter resolves to invite the Minister of Interior, Mr. Rauf Aregbesola, for further clarification on the visa on arrival policy. It also mandates its Committee on Foreign Affairs to liaise with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to investigate the status of Nigerian businesses in Ghana following reports of ill treatment and injustices against Nigerian traders and business people in Ghana.
The Ahmadu Bello University Teaching Hospital Zaria.
Meanwhile, a lawmaker is worried about the situation in the Ahmadu Bello University Teaching Hospital in Kaduna State, explaining that the hospital is overstretched by the volume of cases handled daily. He presents a bill to establish a federal medical center in Rigasa, Kaduna State.
Patients cannot access specialist hospitals where the ailments cannot be properly diagnosed and adequate treatment given.
The bill passed its second reading and is sent to the Committee on Health for further legislative work. And talking about summons, Justice Ini Angeko of the Federal High Court Abuja has summoned the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, to appear before him over the continued detention of Omoyele Sowore. Also ordered to appear alongside the AGF is the Director General of the Department of State Service, Yusuf Bichi. They are to appear before the court to show cause why the convener of the Revolution Now protest should not be released on bail pending when they would file a charge against him, if any. The order was made sequel to an application by Mr. Sowore challenging his rearrest and continued detention by the DSS. In an ex parte application dated December 15 and filed by his lawyer, Mr. Femi Falana, he's challenging his continued detention by the federal government. When the matter was called, Justice Ekwo noted that he had seen all processes filed by the applicant and adjourned the case to December 23, 2020. Another legal battle has been raging in Kano, where the State Chief Judge, Justice Nura Sage, today declined to grant an application to limit the powers of Governor Abdullahi Ganduje in recognizing the State Emirate Council Law of 2019. A group named KANO Prominent Citizens Forum, led by elder statesman and presidential candidate in the aborted Third Republic, Bashir Tofa, had approached the court seeking an ex parte order restraining Governor Ganduje from executing the provisions of the newly promulgated Emirate Council Law. Justice Nura declined to entertain the application in its entirety, noting that the court has the powers to either grant or reject the request. The court had earlier dismissed the request to issue a restraining order against the state government and the state legislature, but it directed for the substantive matter to proceed. The matter is adjourned to 8th January for hearing. It was a different mood today in Oyo State in the southwest, where workers received their December salary on the 16th for the very first time in the history of the state civil service. Meanwhile, the government is finalizing arrangements to pay the 13th month salary after the Christmas celebrations. This was confirmed by the Secretary to the State Government, Mrs. Olubanwo Adeosun, who says the measure is aimed at alleviating the sufferings of the workforce.
This month is Christmas, so there's lots of Yuletide preparations, and people have to shop for Christmas. And if you think about the 25th, which is the day that we've committed to always paying salaries, it's Christmas Day, so it's a public holiday. So if you waited till 25th, many people that want to shop or plan their Christmas expenses beforehand, it would have been difficult. So we took a decision to pay early so people can plan for Christmas properly. But in addition to that, we also took a decision that we'll pay a 13th month salary. And we had a the option either to pay it with the December salary or to pay afterwards. But by general consensus with the people that were going to be the recipients of the money, they agreed we should break it. So the 13th month will be paid after the Christmas celebrations.
And a correction in the case of Shore, the case has been adjourned to December 23rd, 2019 and not 2020. Now, when the news at 10 returns, the Minister of Finance visits Dangote refinery under construction in Lagos, says project will save Nigeria $10 billion in foreign exchange when completed. Please stay with us.